Time to get unlucky. Before we get to today's video, I want to take a moment to talk about Patreon. That's right, we are on Patreon now, and we have a bunch of tiers with a bunch of great rewards. You can subscribe and get things like early access to all reactions, depending on your tier, depends on which reactions you get early access to. You can vote on polls exclusive to patrons that will help determine future reaction series and more. You will get to just have various choices in terms of like getting to choose future reactions I react to, getting to choose first impressions I check out, all kinds of different rewards, and possibly more coming in the future. We're still new at this. We're still figuring things out. It's a process. It's a process. But we have multiple tiers, so whatever you would be able to donate, if you're able and willing to donate, is appreciated. It helps me out, it helps the channel out, it helps us grow. It's going to help just, standardly. It's just something new to check out. Plus, if you like getting the reactions early, that's also a plus. But it is optional. If you're unable to do it, that's completely fine. All reactions will come to YouTube just a little bit later, a week later or so. So that all being said, thank you as always so much, and let's get on with today's video. And with that being said, hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to Season 2, Episode 5 of the One Piece live action. Last time we got the start of our first multi-parter of the season, and one of only two, because the first 3 episodes were all just single episode runs. The arcs that they were covering were shorter, all things considered, and didn't really need more than that. With Logetown, the Twin Capes, and Whiskey Peak, you really wouldn't have needed anything more. They kept them concise, and for the pacing that the live action goes with, it wouldn't have really made sense to stretch it out. Obviously, in the anime, these take place over more episodes than this, and there's more content. Fights are stretched out and stuff. The live action, of course, is going to do things differently with its pacing, and so in the end, I think that this was the right move for the pacing of this, especially with what's to come. And then episode 4, we got our first of Little Garden. We met Dory and Broggy, the giants of Elbaf. We saw how Usopp was becoming inspired by them, as well as Luffy to a degree as well, but Usopp was the more focused one for that. On top of Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine following, we also had the debut of Mr. 3 and Miss Golden Week, 2 more members of Baroque Works who are more on the artist side of things. Miss Golden Week is creepily scurrying around the island painting people, putting these little marks on them that cause their emotions to go out of whack. And Mr. 3 is a little more direct. He shows up and takes a little more quick action at the most opportune points. He considers himself an artiste with his wax powers, and we're really going to see in this episode what he can do. And there's a couple other moments that are going to be coming this episode that are going to be pretty exciting and pretty fun. I can't wait to see, how they do this all. There's a Sanji moment that I'm excited for. Technically 2. And just so much more exciting, fun things to come. And then after that, we have one more arc to cover in this season, and I'm very excited to see that. That's obviously what this season has been building to. But for now, I say we just get into this and hope for the best. If you're wondering about the lighting, though, before we begin, it is dark out. I think it's going to rain again. It's been raining a lot lately. Um, and this is also my first recording of the day, so it's earlier. So there's that too. But I think it's very overcast outside. Not a lot of sunshine peeking through at the moment. So yeah, I did some lighting correction with filters on OBS, but other than that, this is probably the best the lighting's gonna get, unless I wanted to turn on the lamps and drown myself out in orange, which is a different kind of problem. But either way, let's get this going and see what we have in store. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. Welcome to the Afterthoughts, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, Pray to the Sun is the new seasonal song. Last season's one for Nami was really great, and having that be like a representation of her journey into freedom and being able to, you know, find happiness now that Arlong had been defeated was like such a big moment when that began to play. And it's a great song on its own, too. This song, Pray to the Sun, one, the name is very fitting. They already mentioned sun god Nika last episode. Very, very good representation for that. But also, the song has like this repetitive chant nature to it. It feels like a Viking battle song, and I feel like that's what it should feel like. It really fits the tone of the Giants really well. I wonder if there's going to be another song related to the Drum Island arc for the next 3 episodes, or if it's just going to be that one. Are they just going to do like one new song per season, one like original song per season? I'd be fine with that. And I'd be fine with them choosing to do it for the Giants this time. But yeah, that was really good. The episode was also really good. Closing everything out really well. Nothing felt like weirdly paced or off in terms of that, outside of just, the natural pacing of the live action being different than the anime. So I really feel like they did a good job at that. Seeing Sanji taking on Mr. Friday, or Mr. 13 and Miss Friday was great. I didn't think they were going to be included. They were definitely a lot less included than in the manga and anime. I think I said this before, but they originally debut in Whiskey Peak. The Unluckies originally appear in Whiskey Peak, and they make sketches of the crew, save for Usopp and Sanji, because those two aren't around at the moment. They're like sleeping off their drunkenness. But they make some sketches and they deliver those to Mr. Zero. But here, the Unluckies don't arrive until Little Garden. And so there's a lot less time. Now, the fight with Sanji, all of that did happen in the manga and anime. And Sanji did break Miss Friday's neck like that. It was insane. It's like, Jesus, dude. It was like, what the fuck? I'm glad they kept that. But then he was like having the trouble against Mr. 13. fighting that little otter bitch all over the house while Mr. Zero was on hold. That was fun as well. And it's just they were finished up with pretty much as quickly as they came. Which, considering they had been built up since like episode 3, it's a little disappointing that they were that quickly dispatched. But at the same time, I don't really see what more they could have done with them at this point. The Unluckies were unfortunately a little bit wasted. But for what we got, they were great. And I loved getting to see them nonetheless. Just the fact that they were in here is a win. Even if they weren't used to their fullest potential. Mr. 3 and Miss Golden Week are an interesting duo in here compared to the original manga and anime. Because in the originals, Mr. 3 is pretty much the same as he is here. David Dastmalchian performs him excellently. But Miss Golden Week is entirely different. I think I said this last time. Miss Golden Week in the original manga and anime is very stoic and quiet. She doesn't have a lot of emotion or personality to her. And she's definitely not creepy as fuck. She's kind of just maybe the tiniest bit unsettling at most, just because of how quiet and stoic she is. But she's not running around in the bushes giggling, or talking about killing her parents and shit, or trying to force Luffy to commit suicide by walking into the ocean. It's no, that was very different and very dark and creepy, and that was an interesting decision. Because she, the Miss Golden Week in this barely resembles, in terms of personality and character and whatnot, the Miss Golden Week from the manga and anime. It's she's almost an entirely different character. And I don't think it's a bad thing. The changes are fine. But she is very different. And it's not the first time this has happened. Garp is very different than in the manga and anime. He's a lot goofier, a lot sillier, a lot more lackadaisical in the manga and anime. He's also prone to fits of rage at times in ways that this doesn't quite show. Yeah, he had that little fit he threw in season 1, where he destroyed his office and everything. But that was let's be honest, a pebble compared to the Garp from the manga and anime. And it's just the personality is a lot more, human, a lot more real. While in the manga and anime, his personality is pretty crazy and wild. So it's he's very different. Most of the other characters are pretty much the same. It's just there's an occasional character they throw in who they change up a bit. And I don't mind that. Because sometimes it makes them better. Garp, I still say Garp is better in the live action than in the manga and anime. I think he is a better character overall. And I don't dislike him in the manga and anime. I don't hate his character in that. But he's just so much better written and so much more interesting in this version. And I'll admit that. I'm not a person who's going to glaze up Oda so much that I'm going to act like he's perfect and that everything works out perfectly. No, there's a lot that in the original manga that doesn't quite work. It's not a perfect medium. And it's not even about the medium. It's not a perfect story. Nothing really is, but there are some things that could have been done better. There just are. And I'm not going to pretend otherwise. I think it's actually a disservice to act like he's perfect in every way. Because if you think an author is perfect in any way, then that means that you also think they have no room to grow and better their work. And you should always want an author to be able to grow and better their work, because especially for something long running like this, it shows a sign of, you know, improvement that is necessary when it comes to any creative out there, no matter what you're creative in, whether it be writing, artistry, whether it be like crocheting and stuff, anything, music, you have to be able to improve. And pretending that any creative person out there is perfect, just, it diminishes that. And so I've never really stood by that idea. And there are fans out there who do act like that, who do act like Oda can do no wrong. And it's most often a lot of the manga onlys who will say this, who are like, who believe that the manga is the only way to like absorb the story and everything. They believe the anime changes too much or isn't Oda's vision and shit like that. And it's like that kind of bullshit. Um really really sours my view of a lot of people like that. And it's like there's nothing wrong if you want to specifically take in the manga, but when you're being an elitist asshole like that, that's a problem. But yeah, so Miss Golden Week was done very differently here. I think I think I don't really have as strong of opinion on her like I do with Garp. Like I said, I think Garp is much better in the live action than in the manga and anime. With Miss Golden Week, I could take it or leave it either way. It's like I like both versions pretty much equally. And I think that they work for their respective mediums. I'll just say that. Um, Mr. Five and Miss Valentine's roles in this episode were great. I like the entire duel thing with Usopp and how he used it to be able to use her powers to break the wax. That was so smart. Because that's not how things happened in the original. Things are going quite differently in this, which is again fine. Changes are not a bad thing as long as they still work, as long as they still get the point across. It's all good. Luffy facing down Mr. 3 in the woods with all the wax copies, absolutely wonderful. Though, again, I said it in the reaction, but in the original manga and anime, his wax is just, wax colored. It's just white. The only time it has color is when Miss Golden Week is adding the color. Like, they even make a point of her painting this wax armor he uses at one point, which isn't in this at all. But he like gives himself like this giant set of like wax armor at one point in the manga and anime and has Miss Golden Week paint it for him. So I'm just wondering if she was out of commission already by that point, having like fallen into her own color trap and gone insane from all of the emotions flooding into her at once, which by the way, Jesus fuck. That is an intense fucking way to take her out. That was kind of scary. um how were his wax statues painted though? It doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't think you're supposed to think too much about it. Um Maybe he has some painting skill as well. It's possible. Or maybe again, you're just not supposed to think about it at all. um I like Zoro like still stuck and still fighting Mr. 5. That was fun. And while Nami and Vivi were taking on Miss Valentine, it's just so many good moments. Um Sanji talking to Mr. Zero on the snail and then like the fight happening and revealing himself as Mr. Prince. It's like so perfect. Like, to use the meme that's actually very fitting here, chef's kiss. Just perfect. And Joe Manganiello, already really doing good as Mr. Zero. He's already just selling it well. We didn't get a good look at him here. I'm still wondering if we're going to get one by the end of the season. Because I believe in the manga and anime, we don't actually see a good look at him until the start of Alabasta, which would be next season. So I don't know. We might not. It's hard to say. I hope we do. I would love to see him in full costume. But I'm not necessarily expecting it. We see that Nami has come down with something at the end, which is going to be explained next time, so I won't go too much into it here. But that's very important for this next arc, and I'm very excited to see just how they do everything in this next arc. There's so much that's going to be changing the scale of everything. It's going to be so exciting to see. Not to mention, it'll probably make me cry. I can almost guarantee you I will cry. As long as it's done as well as it was in the manga and anime, I will cry. But yeah, this was just another really good episode. Everything worked out super well. All the character stuff was great. Fantastic actors. I believe Miss Golden Week is Sophie Ann Caruso. She did a great job. Again, even with the character being super different, the actress still did fantastic. David Dastmalchian, absolute perfection. There is no one better who could have played Mr. 3. He just looks the part. Right? He looks like Mr. 3. It is so perfect. And with him being a One Piece fan because of watching with his kid, it's just it makes it even better. It makes it even better that he knew the material going in. Because he went in as a fan. Which not every one of these actors have. Some of them only started checking out the material after the fact. Some of them were fans beforehand. McKenyu was already into it. But others, I believe Iñaki only started checking it out after he got cast, I think. He became a big fan, and pretty much everyone who has read it or watched it, however they take it in, has become a big fan after the fact, and they love the work they've done on this. I've seen a few different interviews of people really hyping it up and get really excited about having been in it. So I think Charithra Chandran, Vivi's actress, I think she was one of the ones who didn't really know anything about it beforehand. I think I saw that, and she's super hyped about it now. She loves it now. So I mean, hey, I can't blame her. It's that good. It's fantastic. There's a reason why it's the best-selling comic of all time. It surpassed Superman. That's a big fucking deal. One Piece surpassed Superman to be the best-selling comic of all time. It was already a big deal back when it surpassed Spider-Man and Batman. But now getting to, selling more than fucking Superman, the superhero, the comic book character, it's that's a big fucking deal. And so it's it's clearly working. The majority of people who check out this series clearly love it. Even if some don't, and that's fine, everybody has different tastes. As long as you don't bash others for liking it, that's not okay. But yeah, it's clearly doing something right. And with the manga being in Elbaf and the anime starting in Elbaf this next month, April, though I think you're seeing this episode in April as of when it's going up on both Patreon and YouTube. But with the anime finally going into Elbaf, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to finally enter the homeland of the giants, outside of the little glimpses we've gotten prior to this. Because Elbaf was shown a couple times, like, prior to this in, like, flashbacks and stuff. But we've never actually, like, had our crew visit it yet. And so now that the anime's finally getting there, like, this is just such perfect timing. I'm so excited. There's so many moments that are going to be so hype. I bet you anything. But yeah, I'm just along for the ride, and we have 3 more episodes to go for the live action. They're going to all cover the Drum Island arc, and I really like that they're giving this arc 3 episodes, because that means they're going to be putting forth a lot of effort into it. They're going to be really, really hammering in the emotion, the character work, the great, exciting moments of it. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And I'm just curious if we're going to get, like, a little, like, post-credit stinger like we did in Season 1. Or it wasn't really post-credits, but we had that stinger in Season 1 that hinted at Smoker. I wonder if we're going to get another one this time. Because, like, there's absolutely something they could do for that. There is 100% a very specific thing they could do for that was featured in the manga and anime, and I think it would be the right thing to do. I'll leave it at that for now, but thank you all so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts on this episode of the One Piece live action down in the comments below, and for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.